Everybody, welcome back. Another edition of the Fantasy Football Expo exhibitors. These guys, they're going to be VIPs. Who are they? You need to know, and you're going to find out next. Welcome back again. Here we are. We are kicking off the Expo series here of all the exhibitors. You're going to get 50 interviews from the sponsors, the exhibitors, all kinds of special guests that are going to be coming to the Expo this year. And there's nothing that excites me more than new folks. We love people who have heard about us, come out of the woodwork, and go, hey, check out what I got. And boy, do they have a super cool product that we're going to talk about tonight. Right beside me, Tara Cabasco and Marcus Howard from Crowned Champs. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Introduce yourselves and tell us where you're coming from.
I'm Tara Cabasco, and I'm from Weirton, West Virginia.
Yeah, my name is Marcus Howard. I'm also from Weirton. That's just where we're at currently. We're trying to become a worldwide thing. So maybe you'll see us cross the pond somewhere at some point too.
That's awesome. Now, we don't get a lot of West Virginia folks. I mean, I live in Ohio, so I'm close to you guys. My wife's family is actually from Summersville, West Virginia. So I've got a connection there. But welcome. You know, West Virginia doesn't have their own pro teams. You guys, who do you guys root for? Is it the Ravens, Steelers? Is it the Browns? Is it who? Do you have a team for each of you?
Yeah, so I was asked what I was going to wear today, and I was propositioned with a jersey that I own, and I was like, I'm not sure if I should, seeing that it's in Canton, of course. I'm a Ravens fan, so I catch a lot of crap. Where we're at is actually right on the border of the tri-state border of Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. So we're about 35 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. So I catch a lot of heat on a very daily basis. I chose to spare
a lot of Steelers fans in this area, and we know we deal with it. I mean, Ozzie Newsome ran your guys' team for many, many years, former fantastic tight end for the Browns, Hall of Famer. So, I have a lot of respect for the Ravens and the Steelers because you know what? They win and we don't. So let's put it in perspective. Tara, what about you? You got a favorite team?
Well, when it comes to like college football, I would say I would root for Ohio State, of course. And I'm considering I grew up in Ohio. And for NFL, I'm kind of divided. I really don't have a home team. So I kind of just root for the men in my life. My son, he loves the Bengals, and Marcus, he loves the Ravens. So in between them both, I'm supportive for their teams.
So you just have the whole AFC North pretty well taken care of here. So all good. When did you guys start playing fantasy football?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, it's probably been 15 years or so at this point. A lot of it just came from me loving football. I've always been a football fan. It's just the easiest thing, we live in a football area. Since you're from Ohio, I assume you've heard of Steubenville Big Red. Of course, they're very huge in this area. So not being far from the Steelers, we always had to hear that every day, every week, every Sunday, just never stopping. But that's basically when we start. Or I personally started. It's just an enjoyable thing. It's something fun to do. It's harmless. It doesn't or can cost, of course. Depends on how elaborate you want to get. But it's something free and easy to do for the most part. You just cheer and root for the people that you know and hope for the best and come out with your trophy or crown or whatever it is that you're winning. Even pride. It's even for pride.
Cool. I love it. Tara, what about you? Do you play? How long have you been playing?
I love the betting aspect.
Okay.
I love the betting aspect. I would love the betting aspect of it. And I'm kind of like to go in blind a little bit. So I like to, just choose and have fun with what I want to do. And typically that kind of works out in my favor a little bit. So I love to have fun with betting a little bit, just the competition. the thrill.
Yeah, and winning money. I mean, who doesn't like that, right? That's always a fun thing. All right, so let's
Right.
lead in that to now the Crown Champs. Talk about when you came up with this idea, how it all came to fruition. Have you been out a while and you're just kind of branching out to get more well known? Is this new? Talk about this journey to get to
Yes.
Crown Champs and what it's all about.
Yeah, so for the most part, it was just the same thing for me, playing year in and year out. We have pretty elaborate parties. One of my former bosses, he owns a rent-to-own store. He's actually a part of the company as well.
Okay.
And we would just close down the whole store. We'd pull out all the couches and chairs and tables and different TVs and huge monitors, and of course we eat like cows. And for us, that was fun. That was a cool thing to do, and we'd have all the trophies. And I'm extremely competitive in pretty much everything. If I'm in it, I want to win it. That's just what it is. And we have a lot of the trophies. Yeah, right. Like, why else would I play? I'm not here to lose. But we have a lot of the trophies that, stand up tall trophies that we first started out with, the couch, football player trophies to the chains, the big chains, the belts. I have all that stuff. And I was like, I just want to be flashy. I need something else.
Right.
And that's when I came up with the idea personally. And she's like, you're the king of the kingdom. And I was like, yeah, kind of. And we just ran with it. And we started last year. Of course, we just been, playing with things and trying to get everything set up and doing a lot of marketing and different things like that, trying to get things going. And of course, the event, I had no idea that the event even existed. I came across this channel at some point in time at random. And I was like, oh, Fantasy Football Expo. I was like, that'd be pretty cool. And then we find out it's only like an hour and a half away. And I was like,
right, yeah.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah, no, it is weird how people. I mean, most of the people in my hometown don't know about it, because nobody reads the newspaper, nobody watches the news, nobody listens to the radio. So I'll walk down the street. I can talk to people like, do you play fantasy? Oh yeah, I play fantasy for 20 years, and I'm like, do you know that the biggest fantasy football expo in the country is held for the last 6 years here in Canton? He's like, no, never heard of it. So, but yeah, we have 800 people from across the country come here. Last year we had 25 people from California alone. So it's, becoming huge, and we just continue to help support new companies, old companies. Like you said, you wanted to create this kind of new, fun, exciting, and you've got this crown thing, which I think is really cool. But talk more about it, because I also see things like there's this subscription of $2.99 a month. So talk about what that is and what, I mean, obviously people can buy a crown that for their thing, but what is the whole subscription thing all about?
Yeah, so I'm sure at some point in time you've had various people within your group, if you're playing for money or anything along those lines. Every time it's like Christmas, we know it's coming up every single year, and there's always someone who's not making their payments. Someone doesn't pay their dues every single time. I got to wait till the last second. I forgot. So one of the things that I wanted to do outside of have something different was to ensure that everyone's getting a chance to play. I have children, or my son specifically plays fantasy football, so he's 13. Right. But they have I ended up giving them a football. So after we had their own little set, he's walking around beating his little chest and everything. But the subscription is going to be just so that people can make those affordable payments and still yet have the ability to play for that crown. And one of the things that we wanted to, have was that inclusivity to make sure that everyone's, getting that chance to play and have something new and different than the normal that's out there.
Which will also ensure your prize. So at the end, with the winner, it ensures your prize. So with the crown, whether it be money and the other fun things that we'll have to offer when those things come. It tightens it all up for you, so you don't have to worry about, chasing somebody down to get that money.
Yeah, right. No,
And it just kind of makes the experience a little bit fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also see this Royal Draft Party experience. Talk about that fun. That looks like it'd be awesome.
Yeah. So one of the things that right before the formation of the company, we were considering doing a draft differently than we normally do. So a lot of times we had so many people trying to get into our draft year in and year out. Someone drops out, someone was complaining and upset, whatever the case may be. We'd have somebody else to fill in. So at some point in time, we were starting to do super leagues. The at least 10 people on each side can join them. Top winner versus the other top winner, whoever wins, blah, blah. Right. So we end up deciding if we had everyone making those same payments, we can do a big party. You can have a party up to 2,000 people, depending on or $2,000, depending on how many people you have. And what we wanted to do was like have an NFL draft. There's a lot of stadiums now that just let you in. You can, draft in their VIP area, draft on the field. And it's really not that expensive. And I was like, well, if we had everybody get together and make that happen, we can, and we did. So it was something that we wanted to make the fantasy football experience different. We wanted to futurize it because everyone knows what fantasy football is at this point. I mean, it's I think $20.1 billion industry.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like important. Yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot of people that enjoy it. So, what better way than have a party? Because most of the time, if you're drafting anyway, you're going to be in the presence of someone, or at least online. Why not make it the best party you can have? And we have a whole bunch of things coming up for that. But basically, you're going to be choosing your own draft party. We'll have things pre-planned, and then if you have something in mind, of course, we can, we'll side chat someone and, send some correspondence and figure out what it is within that price limit, and we make that happen.
Yeah, no, and that's an awesome idea. So, so let's talk about the Crown right now. People's leagues have ended. Maybe they got their trophies done. Maybe they haven't. How easy is it for them to go and get one of those custom cool crowns for their champion?
Yeah, so it's ready and available. We're still working on finalizing the exact product that we want for our grand opening, which will be right after the event in August.
Oh, okay.
So we were playing around with some of the logistics with it, seeing how we can get things shipped out. But ultimately, we are good to go to sell. We're just waiting to try to get everything in bulk. We're trying to get everything packed up, ready, and just bundled up so we can have everything on deck at the event.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So it's your first event, first expo you're coming to. Like you said, you learned about this and now you're on your way. What fun things, cool things do you have planned for your VIP booth, which you bought? You came barreling in here. Not everybody in their first year buys a VIP booth, but you're like, no, we're going to show off big time. We're taking one of the big shot spots here, which we're excited. I mean, that tells me that, yeah, you're bringing it. Talk about what's going to be at the booth and what's going to be happening.
So we're going to have a lot of different things, like mostly fan interaction. We want to get everyone engaged. There's going to be a lot of different giveaways and raffles that we're going to be doing, fun prizes, secret things that we're going to have. We're going to try to get with the rest of the Fantasy Expo booths to see what we can kind of, have that's going to be fun for the entire group, for everyone, because we want everyone there to have a party. That part's not a competition. We're all there to have fun. We're all there to, rub it in someone else's face and get a championship and, taunt everything we've done for that fantasy football season. But I think it's going to be great. It's going to be everything that we're going to need moving forward.
Awesome. So I always ask new folks, what are what questions you have for me about the expo as a first timer?
what can you expect at the expo when you come to look at everybody at the VIP booths? What do you expect? What would you tell people who have never been to the expo what to expect when they come there?
I would tell them to think like you're having a family reunion, but everybody's going to talk about fantasy football the whole time, and there's going to be drinks and food and good times and lots of interaction and networking, and you're going to meet big shots like Bob Harris from Football Guys or Andy Behrens from Yahoo, down to folks that are brand new like you, and everybody's going to feel like we've known everybody for years. So it's a very a lot of camaraderie, for sure.
I love it.
I did have a question as far as the amount of people that's there. So last year we did end up coming. We weren't a part of it, of course, at that point. And by the time we got there, we literally just missed like most of the stuff because we were running around trying to finally get there. But it looks like there's a lot of traffic. I've seen some of the videos. I believe that might have been today or a couple of days ago, but I've seen one of the videos where you started in, I believe, 2019, and it was like the Midwest, Expo or something like that. Yeah. So I'm assuming year in and year out, it's just becoming a much bigger event.
Yeah, I mean, that first year we called it the Midwest Fantasy Football Expo because at the time, Tony Romo had his own national event. So I'm like, well, I don't feel like I'm national yet because I'm going to compete with him. But, and then COVID came. So we only had 75 people attend the first one. So, it was kind of like, and then COVID came and we're like, ooh. So we wouldn't even know if 2021 was going to happen, and 500 people showed up. And now we're 800 going on 1,000 this year of attendees. So it's continued to grow, and we just want to keep growing it, but also make it feel, that camaraderie as well. So.
Right. Yeah, I think that's an awesome event. I mean, in the place itself couldn't be a much more fitting area to be in too. So
right, yeah,
very, very happy about that.
Nice. Yeah, sure. All right. Well, before we go, any last things you guys want to share about the site? Obviously, like you said, you're kind of going to be breaking it all open later this summer. Is there a thing where people can at least put in their email or learn about when things are ready to go?
Of course, they can go to crownchampscompany.com and they can sign up for our newsletter and they can put their email in and stay tuned. They can always follow us on Facebook too at Crown Champs. Also, we are in constant evolution with Crown Champs. So we're continuously growing this and adding new products to Crown Champs, as well as, having our wonderful crown and footballs, and we're going to be having rings and other great things like that. So we are a futurized fantasy football company that you just don't want to miss out on.
Great. And are you guys on Twitter as well?
I do have a Twitter. Yeah. There is a Twitter account. That's something that we're still working through all the other social media. Because, of course, Facebook and Instagram are pretty much connected. Twitter's a little separate, and Snapchat, I believe, is too. But
you'll find us there.
So,
all under Crown Champ.
Yeah, Twitter seems to be the fantasy football spot for social media. I mean, there are others in various places, but Twitter seems to be the spot where most everybody hangs out. But as long as you have it, definitely let people know, where that is as well. So if there's nothing else, Marcus, Tara, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for making the commitment to the expo this year. We're really looking forward to a lot of people wearing crowns all weekend. So thanks again for being a part of this.
Thank you for having us.
Marcus, thank you so much. Everybody take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. Lock in your 2025 football tickets now at thefantasyfootballexpo.com. Hit subscribe and check out one of these excellent @FF Expo videos next.